Suzy, this is your early April 2022 lesson. Stance looks good. You got the eye line is up here above the ball, which is really good. Flat back, good. Hands are nicely under your shoulders. That looks good. So the position one, the setup looks good. From face on, you'll see that the grip is screwed up. So you can actually, well, we can get to it later. Okay, so this position isn't too bad. Okay, if we have a choice, see how the toe of the club's up? That's really good. If we have a choice, the shaft will be, the head of the club will overlap your hands. See how the shaft is parallel to his toe line. As a matter of fact, it's almost over it. You're actually off plane here quite a bit, but you know, and part of that is, you know, you've kind of bent that right arm early, but that's not causing any great trauma. So let's follow you back. So then, see how your shoulders are kind of turning flat, but your chin's up nicely. So you go from off plane. See, the plane is a plane parallel to these yellow lines. It doesn't have to be exactly on one or the other. And see here, you get it spin off plane. Now you get it right on plane, which is really good. Okay, you know, and then actually you get it a little shallow. See how it's in a laid off position. So this is pretty good at the top. Okay, so you know, we'd like to see a little better right elbow position, because as you know, see how his elbow is under supporting. It's almost vertical. Yours is out here. That looks to be about 40 degrees. And that's going to cause some problems. But I like where the shaft is. See how that's a laid off position. That's really good. Hands are high, which is good also. So we like that. Your problem comes in with Mr. Wiggles at the top. So you get at the top, and then you got this thing going. See how the butt of the club is here, and now from here, the butt of the club should just go right towards the ball. But no, it's actually going away and dropping straight down. And then that elbow, you know, we're at 45 degrees. Well, we'll see what it is. Yeah, it's more than 45. Okay, so then watch your right elbow. It goes away from the ball, and when you come down, you'll see that. So this move is sinking the ship. Okay, so you go from laid off position to very steep because that elbow is now floating. Okay, see how that thing is too steep, and the problem is the elbow should be, at this point, should be pinned to your side. Here, look, I'll show you what the good guys do here. So that's not his top position, but you and I can't get to his top. So his top position, watch, the butt of the club goes right towards the ball. See that? And his elbow gets to his side. When his hands are shoulder height, his elbow is inside his body. Your shoulder height, it's still way behind, and here it's way behind. It hasn't crossed. Look, so when his hands are chest high, look, that elbow is trying to get in front of his stomach here. Okay, so here's the report card that you have to look for, is when the hands get about waist high on the downswing, that shaft, the club, the shaft of the club should be on your forearm. See where every good player, every good player gets in this position, independent of what their swing looks like. They're in this position with the elbow is actually kind of leading the hands through impact, but that shaft is right on the forearm. That's the report card. Your shaft is it's straight up and down. See, that white blur is the club head, and it should be on your forearm like this. So I'll give you a picture of this, and that's what you have to work on. You know, you want to get more like Adam Scott there. Now, the problem with coming in steep is the club's outside your hands. See, at this point, club's outside your hands. Every good player, it's slightly inside. So this ball is only going to go left unless you do something drastic. Okay, so when you come down, you know, look, you got your left hip going, it's going against the back wall. That's really good. Okay, that's really good. Head's dropped like 2 inches, not as good, but I can show you face on what's happening. But see how you turn through? That's really good. That right knee is kicking in, you're getting to your toe. That part is really good. Okay, but you're coming in steep. You're either going to hit it fat, hit it left. You know, it's just amazing that you you know, don't lift out of it and lose your spine angle. But here's the thing that makes it really complicated, is this move here. So your hand should go back along close to a line parallel to the yellow lines, then down to it, and you got, whoops, I'm going the wrong way, sorry. So it goes, so here's your top position, then it goes back, then it goes straight down, then finally trying to work its way to the ball, but that, see how that's so steep? Okay. So that's what you have to fix from down the line angle. Now, what we need to do is, so this grip is really funky, Suzy. You've got this V is pointed outside your right shoulder. This V is here. Your hands are working in opposition. And what they should be is, you can't see it, but the V's should be parallel each other and somewhere between the right shoulder and the right ear. His V's are very consistent. Okay, so that's the number one thing wrong with. Okay, so the thing that's causing some of the inconsistency is, okay, that's the outside of your right leg, and here's the outside of your, okay, so the grip is adding to the inconsistency, I can tell you, but watch your takeaway. So here, that shift, that's a shift of like 5 inches. See that? That's yeah, so that right hip is shifted 5 inches. So now the trouble is sometimes it may be 6, sometimes 5, sometimes 4. Then to hit the hip has to go 5 inches to get back to where it started. Then it has to start going towards the target. And it's just causing some extra movement and tons of inconsistency. So you mix this slide on the takeaway with Mr. Wiggles at the top, and you have tons of inconsistency wrapped into your swing. Okay, and the grip isn't helping either. Okay, so you take it back. So and then you got your right elbow kind of there. Okay, so it's up. Okay, so from here, you're just kind of tilting back. So this hip is now, it's like almost a foot. That's like 10 inches back. And then see this line here. Your shoulder, this is set up to a reverse weight shift. Watch every good guy at the top. See how his torso is leaning away from the target? See how his left shoulder is behind the ball? His right shoulder's behind his head? Okay, see this little lean away is what sets things up. And now his hip, there's camera movement, but trust me, his right hip is going back. He doesn't have a 10-inch slide. Okay, so now with you, so we're in a really weak position. This is set up for a reverse weight shift because your shoulder isn't behind the ball. There's not much going on here that's worth saving. No, just kidding. Okay, so as you come down, look, so the first move down is your hands. Your hip hasn't started. Now your right hip is going. Now at this point you've got a full-on cast and you're stuck back on the right side, a reverse weight shift. See how you're kind of stuck back on the right side, and your hip never gets to where it started. Now look what happens with it's going to be hard to draw because of the camera movement, but trust me, you'll get the idea. So this is roughly where his hip started. Okay, so watch as he comes down, because he's behind the ball. There's camera movement, but you got the picture. See how he starts moving into it. So his hands are parallel to the ground. At waist high, and his belt buckles where his left hip started. And then what? Look, as he swings through, yeah. So, I mean, look at the difference at impact. So his belt buckle is right on where this left hip was, and yours is not. Your hip, your belt buckle is here. Adam Scott's over here. So you're kind of stuck back and just kind of flipping at it. It's probably the one reason you're getting a hike on most of your shots is you're kind of back and swinging up on it. And you're hitting it fat probably a lot of shots because of the sway, and also stuck back on your foot and your feet and just basically flipping at the ball. Now, having said that, look, you're releasing the right side. That is really good, but it's coming from such a weak position. Look, see, finally your belt buckle gets out to where it should be at impact. See, that's quite good, but that's like miles late. The ball's long gone, and the grip isn't allowing you to reset your hands again. See how that's gone down, jammed in between your thumb and your index finger. See, when he gets to this point, you know, that's not bad there, but then you're unable to reset it. So once it gets here, now see how he resets it softly? You can't reset it because the grip is all screwed up.